What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining another fly time video tonight. Let's go ahead and talk about this one for a sec. We're going to be tying a dry fly. This is an attractor pattern. It's big, it's beefy, it floats high, and it just triggers strikes. It doesn't technically, let's say, imitate anything specific, but it's kind of a mix of, you know, your typical terrestrials and just your summertime bugs. So let's just go ahead and get right into this one. In the vise, we've got a Tiemco. This is a 2312 dry fly hook in size 10, and it's a little bit lighter wire and a longer shank. For the thread today, we've just got some UTC 70. This is in black right here. And let's go ahead and get this dry fly started. Go ahead and start your thread right behind the eye. You can take it down the shank. Now you're going to want to take your thread all the way down right before the bend. Now for the tail of this fly, we're going to be using some deer hair. I have some, this is the HOPPER hair from Nature Spirit. It's really nice. It's there's very few black tips, and cutting it straight out of the hide, it's already pretty lined up. If you can see there, I haven't even stacked it yet. So go ahead, put a little pinch of deer hair in your stacker. Give it a few taps. There we go. Nicely stacked tail. Now, we're going to want a preferably shorter tail on this fly. So go ahead and measure out your tail. Then you can come in here and actually cut off all these fibers here. So now that we have that, bring our thread back, and to secure this tail, you're going to want to put the fibers on the near side close to you and take really loose wraps to bring them up over the shank. And once you get to the end, you can pull them down and then come back around as you cinch them down tighter. It's going to be really bushy at the back. Then you're going to take tight wraps back up the deer hair. Secure all those tags. Now we've got a nice little bushy tail here. Then I just like to come in here and clean all these off. Then you can take more wraps over. Okay, once you have your tail secured, next we're gonna go ahead and dub the body of our fly. For the dubbing, we're just gonna be using, this is a rusty brown, high and dry. It's like super fine, but any dry fly dubbing is really the best for this fly. I fish these and tie these in yellow, brown, olive. This rusty brown is really good. Tan. So go ahead and dub yourself a noodle and then start dubbing up the body. Get another noodle. Form yourself a little bit taper if you can. One more strand. Okay. Now we're going to want to leave a little bit of space to tie in our wing and our head. So before we tie in the caddis like wing, we're gonna go ahead and take some foam. You can pick any color you want. I've got some brown right here. Now to measure my foam, I just like to the same width of my foam. I do the width from the shank of my hook down to the point of my hook. So just kind of do an eye length measurement with that, and go ahead and cut yourself a inch, maybe inch and a half piece of foam like this. Then you're going to come in here and make a little triangle, cut on the sides, so then it looks like this. Now to tie this in, you're going to hold it in your right hand, your left hand, hold it in place here. You're going to take one securing wrap, pull down tight to secure it, and you can secure that little tag piece to make sure it's down. Now you can check, we've got a lot of room here, so we're going to come back up with our thread and take another wrap over this foam, secure it a little more. That should be good. So you're going to want to leave a little bit of room so you can pull this foam back to form your head. So just go ahead and play with it, and then secure all this foam down with some thread wraps. So next we're going to go ahead and tie a little bit of a flashier material to go under our deer hair wing. This is just some polar flash. I like to take 3 to 4 fibers like so, and we can go ahead and tie these in at the back near our dubbing, and then work our way back up the fly to that foam. Then we're going to pull all these extras, and to save material we're going to pull these back, tie those down on the top of the shank like so. Now to trim these, I like to trim these first to get them out of the way. A little bit longer than our tail, so about right there should be good. They'll be kind of messy, but that's okay. So next we're just going to go ahead and take that same deer hair from Nature Spirit. Again, this is the hopper hair, that's what it's called. Go ahead and take about the same size pinch, maybe a little thicker than your tail. About yay much. Then go ahead, put it in your stacker. Few taps. Okay, looks good. I can't see that. Camera won't focus. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure our wing. We want it to be just short of our tail, so maybe half the length of our tail. Go ahead and transfer that back to your left hand. Keep that measurement. Now we're going to come in here with our scissors and we're going to cut right here all those butt ends off. So now we have this much left. So to set this deer hair, I'm just going to lay that right on top of the shank, do one loose wrap, come down with the second, tighten it just a little bit, then bring it straight up and tighten it, and it'll fan out like that. Looks good. Take one more, secure it by pulling up. Then you're going to take some wraps and wiggle them through all those butt fibers just to make sure your hair is nice and secured. See if it rolled over. Nope. Okay. So we've got our wing secured. Now from here we're just gonna mat some of these fibers down. So we're not gonna, our head isn't gonna be these butt fibers, so don't worry about that. So now we're just gonna tie in the legs Just got some rubber legs. These are barred rubber legs. They've got a little bit of a silver barring to them. You can use black or just regular brown, brown and gold, whatever you like. So go ahead, tie these in on the side of the shank here. Now you're going to want the longer piece of your tail towards the back, because in order for it to be somewhat of a hopper imitation, Hopper's legs in the back are longer. So wing's still looking pretty good. Go ahead and grab your other leg that you cut, put it on the near side. Again, the long side of the leg facing towards the back. Secure your legs with a few wraps. Make sure that wing's sticking up, looking nice. Now we're just going to cover up all those thread wraps with that same dubbing that we dubbed the body with here. So go ahead and give yourself a nice noodle of dubbing. Again, use the same kind that you use for your body. And for this part, we're going to do it a little more bulbous, like so. So it forms a little bit of a thorax on the bottom of the fly there. So now we're going to go ahead and grab our foam that we tied in. We're going to pull it back here. Bring your thread back to right behind that dubbing. Go ahead and take one wrap and then pull it straight down to secure it. Take one more. A few tight wraps is all you need. And you can come in here, clip off your foam as close or as far as you want, and then whip finish. So you're just going to throw your whip finish in right here in between the foam. Once you've got that secured, go ahead and cut that. Now to trim my legs, I just like to pull them both and trim them the same length. Pretty short in the front. Kind of stretch those out a little bit. And then the same goes for the back. I'm just going to trim them a little shorter, about tail length. Like that. Perfect. Now our wing material is a little bit long. Come in there and clip that. And this deer hair wing will naturally pop up as we pull our foam up. And there you go. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel and to this video. Comment if you have anything to say. I'd love to hear it. Respond. And we'll see you next time.